recently watched the film Iris on Netflix. It's about Iris Apfel, who is a bit of a fashion icon in the fashion industry. Iris was an interior designer in her younger years. In 1950, her and her husband started the company Old World Weavers to reproduce remarkable fabrics from the past for her interior design clients. She sort of accidentally stumbled into fashion later in life. And I say accidentally because in an interview she mentions that she never really planned much in her life. She just went with opportunities that came up as time passed. Her love of textiles in the interior design world easily translated into a love of accessories and fashion apparel. For many years through her travels for Old World Weavers, she collected a ton of jewelry and clothing. Her first big opportunity to step into the fashion world was being invited to show her couture costume jewelry collection at the Met here in New York. In the beginning of the movie, I had a really hard time relating to Iris. I think visually we interpret fashion in very different ways. She goes for the more is more concept, where I tend to go for the less is more concept. She is a full-on creative soul. I have a hard time appreciating loud, colorful, and large objects. But as I watched, I started appreciating her view more and more. I'm glad that I stayed open-minded and continued to watch the rest of the film because she says a few things in the film that really resonate with me. She says in the film, "I can't judge. It's better to be happy than well-dressed." I say something very similar in the intro of my article, Why Fashion Designers Don't Dress Fashionably. That people I meet automatically expect me to judge what they're wearing because I'm a fashion designer. But it's actually more the opposite. The longer I'm in the fashion industry, the more open-minded I become about what people wear. Style is very personal, and there are a lot of emotions for each person connected to what they're wearing and why. So there is no right or wrong, there's just what's right for you. And when she talks about not having kids, she very realistically says, you can't have everything. Or when she talks about designers these days, saying that designers don't know how to sew or drape anymore, and that it's all about the media attention. I mean, I can't argue with that. Look at me, I'm a fashion designer making YouTube videos. But I will say that I do know how to sew, drape, pattern make, and knit, among many other fashion design related skills. So I have done my due diligence in learning my craft. I can really relate with Iris on her perspective on fashion and style, but how we interpret those concepts is where the difference comes in, which is a great thing because that's what brings out individual style. Her and I use these concepts in very different ways, which shows the difference in personality and taste. She says that her style doesn't really come from the intellectual, it's more of a gut feeling. And she says that she doesn't have rules because she would only break them. And I think that's where we're very different. My style comes from creating rules and turning styling into a science. And this is what works for me.